Hey guys, welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles! And last time we had a little dance of deduction, not the dance of deduction, but a deduction by Mr. Sholmes. And that led to all the people in Miss Pavlov's cabin to be in awe. They all look very surprised, and I don't want to spoil things or anything, although I haven't played. But I assume we are going to perform another dance of deduction, which is really awesome. So let's just get into it and see how things enroll.
Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake as a killing machine. There on the floor, you will observe a saucer of milk. The promise of food is the key to training any creatures.
Incredible. You've solved the mystery. Amazing. Your great deduction really lives up to its name. I see now how Herlock Sholmes has become such a household name.
My dear man, it was nothing remarkable. As the Russians say, I could have done it with one left hand.
Yeah, she's in doubt. Could I venture an opinion, Mr. Sholmes?
But of course, what's on your mind?
It's just about your deductions before. Some things don't quite make sense to me.
I welcome questions as to my method, and I will answer both loudly and proudly.
Oh, well, good. First of all, snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family.
You are well informed, madame. Madam.
And reptiles, don't drink milk.
Oh,
It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see. So, I'm not sure it would be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward.
no matter. No doubt Miss Pavlova used some other treat to encourage her pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example. The logic holds.
Well, there's something else. Snakes have no ears.
Oh,
Yes, so I'm not sure it would really be possible to signal to a snake by whistling.
but madam, what of the tales from Arabia? Have you not heard of the snakes that dance to the sounds of a flute?
I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movements. I read about that, actually. I think she's right.
Oh, I see.
And snakes hear through vibration on the ground, or they perceive sound from vibrations. That's how they quote-unquote hear.
No hands, no feet, no ears? These creatures are so inept as to be practically useless.
Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Sholmes. There is one other thing.
You have more?
Snakes use the scales on their bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake could manage to climb up a flat bell cord like the ones in these cabins.
Then it should try harder.
Please, don't be angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it couldn't have come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine the snake could have had a part in this. I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruto. Yes! We get to make a dance of deduction! Great! Oh no, you don't mean? Oh, don't be like that, Yonosuke. Yes, we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' latest deductions and turn them into the great ones they ought to be. I had a feeling that was coming. Alright, let's give it a try.
Just what I was waiting for, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, right.
So cast your eyes down to your wrists again.
What? You've done it again. Your handcuffs are gone. Where did they go?
Fear not, I shall see they're restored after our work is done.
I really wish you'd leave them off.
Now, everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular.
Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Topic 1, Intruder's Identity. The conclusion? We'll see what it's going to be.
Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain.
No, it's the wrist that pains her. She does have a pained expression on her face. Yes, that's true. She looks as though Kazuma-sama's death is weighing heavily on her mind. But you're not sure Mr. Sholmes has read her quite correctly, is that it? Could there be some other way to interpret her expression then? Let's take a moment and really look very closely at Miss Pavlova. Alright, so let's check out her aching heart first. She really does look troubled. Yes, it's hard to believe she's putting that expression on to fool us. But if you look closely, it's almost like she's actually staring at something. Ed, what do you think? Perhaps something's physically causing her pain. We should have a closer look. Alright, so, aha! It's a claw scratch, but we're gonna look at everything that's possible. That is pretty much it as it seems. There's nothing more to scan on this, dear lady. It's just the aching heart, and it's this. So let's check it out first. Oh, Naruhodo-san, look! That looks like a very painful wound. It looks like a scratch made by some kind of small animal. And fairly recently, too. Well, whatever scratched her doesn't appear to be around here. Well, we have to present it, though. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, that claw scratch marks with pain.
Indeed, and simple observation reveals that the wound is fresh.
Miss Pavlova, did you in fact receive that scratch sometime last night? When I think about the young man who died next door, I feel so sad. And when I am sad, the pain from this wound is worse.
And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally it was the friend with which you boarded with this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us.
No, it's not. It seems likely that the scratch mark on the back of Miss Pavlova's hand was made by this friend of hers, doesn't it? Except, snakes don't have claws, do they? No, they don't. They don't even have hands or feet on which claws might grow. Well then, if that snake isn't her pet, what is? What's the true identity of this friend of hers? We should follow her gaze, Naruhodo-san. That's where we'll find the answer. Okay, so... Okay, so we see that it's a cat. So we're gonna check out everything though, and it seems like there is just the serpent, Stroganoff. Let's start with Stroganoff. There's no doubt, is there? She looked in this direction. Straight at Seaman Stroganoff. Well, they do seem to be friends of sorts. Like, I can't imagine how he could possibly fit through that ventilator. Don't forget that I managed to fit inside Cosmo's trunk when we first boarded this ship. I would ask what that proves, but I think an equal little smile would be more effective. Okay, cool. Alright, so let's check out the serpent, the snake. The more look at this creature, the more its stripes stand out. It's a very impressive snake, isn't it? Oh yes, it really is. And it seems to be doing its best to squeeze this poor sailor's head until it bursts. Yes, it's a terrifying sight, and slightly heartwarming at the same time. Anyway, it would probably be a good idea not to get too close. So, let's check out the teapot then? Or is it just the frame? I want to check out the teapot first. I have a feeling that it was this teapot that Miss Pablo's eyes flickered over to before. You think this is the friend she's been talking about? Well, we're all different, aren't we? Whatever we might say about it, if that's the way she feels, I don't think I'll say anything about it then. You and the teapot can discuss it instead. Wait, that's not what I meant. And then we'll look at the photographic frame. Ah, look at the photograph in this frame. This must be something Miss Pavlova brought with her when she ran away. She's exceptionally beautiful, isn't she? Yes, that's true, but personally, it's the little black creature she's holding that's caught my eye. Maybe we'd better take a closer look at this. Oh, we can check out things here too. Little kitten. Can we look at the tiara? No, we can't. So, let's look at the... That must be a stage costume she's wearing. It's quite stunning. I should like to have something like that. And she's wearing the 20,000 rubles on her head as well. Look. It's called a tiara, Naruto-san. And you shouldn't think of it purely in terms of its wealth. She must be a strong-willed woman to turn her back on the world stage and run away all on her own. Alright, so what about this kitty cat? Look at the little cat Miss Pablo was cuddling here. Oh, what a cute little kitten. I could vie with you, couldn't it? It could vie with you, couldn't it, Naruto-san? For the blackest outfit. A black kitten. And from the look of this picture, at least, Miss Pavlova seems very attached to it. So we're gonna present that. Little kitten. Without doubt, your friend is the little kitten we see before us.
Yes, the scratch on the back of your hand makes that abundantly clear.
Oh no! The whereabouts of this black kitten isn't clear. But what is clear is that you brought the animal with you when you ran away, didn't you? Oh! Taka is my best friend. I couldn't leave her behind.
Darker would appear to be a Russian blue. And yet, that fact leaves us in quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's marking do not fit the description in any way. What explanation can we then give prey? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night?
No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this.
Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that which you are trying but failing to conceal can only be the snake's sloughed skin.
Did you see that? She just took something out of her pocket and hid it behind her back. If she just left it in her pocket, no one would ever have known. Oh yes, ploys like that are Mr. Shaw's specialty. He's ever so cleverly forced her to reveal something. I thought deduction was his specialty. Or maybe making me believe that was a ploy too? Anyway, I find it hard to believe that's the skin of a snake. In which case... Just what is Miss Pavlova hiding behind her back? We'll have a look. We'll have a look. Okay, is there something that we can check out on the front? No, it doesn't seem that way. Or is there? Maybe the earrings? Oh. Oh, we can check out the left ear. She has such petite ears among the beautiful hair, like little pink shells. Oh, what's that? There's something dangling down from her ear. Oh, that's an earring. The crescent moon part looks as though it's made from wood. It's charming, isn't it? Women do seem to love adornments like that. In their hair, around their necks, on their fingers, and even hanging from their ears, it seems. Well, jewelry is beautiful, not all the time. Alright. So we can also check out the right ear. She has such petite ears among her beautiful hair that little pink like little pink shells. Oh, what's that? There's something attached to her ear. Oh, I expected that's what's called an earring. It's a little piece of jewelry. An earring, is it? It really is tiny. Perhaps part of it is missing. Maybe it broke off. So now all that's left is the clasp part that attaches to the ear. If that's the case, she doesn't appear to have noticed that it's broken. Aha! So... let's check out the skin. Well, it is speckled and is a band, but what is it? It seems to be soft and fluffy, a long piece of cloth of some sort, and that looks like a handle at one end. I think it might be a cat's toy. This sort is common in the West, apparently. How is that a toy for cats? Cats like to chase the band around and paw at it. Kittens in particular love that sort of play. You only need to wave it in front of them and they pounce to catch it. Haha, that sounds positively adorable. It does. Cat's toy. Aha, we had to check it out. We had to check it out. So, what if we check it out again? Well, it is speckled. Oh, it's the same thing, so I'm just gonna... So, if we would have presented it without checking it out, we would have failed. So, let's just present it. Yes, the thing you are trying but failing to conceal is, a cat's toy. Precisely.
Precisely, and the true nature of the now infamous speckled bag.
Ah!
And it was this toy that you dangled through the ventilator. You waved it around, I presume. Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it.
But why? For what reason?
My dear boy, there can be only one answer to that. After a feline friend disappeared through the ventilator into the neighboring cabin, Miss Pavlova attempted to use the speckled cat's toy to incite the creature to return.
That makes sense. That really makes sense.
In summary, the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlova's, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a blithesome Russian blue breed of cat by the name of Darka.
Gah!
A truly troublesome feline young Darka is proving to be. She must be caged once found. You will forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlova.
Oh, okay. The photograph of Miss Pavlova and Darka has been entered into the court record. Pavlova and Darka photograph. A photograph of Miss Pavlova and her friend, a kitten named Darka. The tiara she would wear on stage can also be seen. It was after I gave her food last night. That's when it happened. She scratched the back of my hand and then ran up the balcony. Before I could do anything, she had disappeared through the ventilator. But that cat didn't kill Kazuma. There's no way. Darka, she's so naughty. Ah, the conclusion is a beloved kitten. We solved that. Okay. Alright, so this can't be true anyway. Or anymore.
Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter. The grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life? And why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury.
Okay, did she already reacted to that?
In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom.
Ooh, she knows something. What Mr. Shom says is true. There were no signs of a wound anywhere on Kazuma-sama's body. That's right. But Mr. Shom seems to be unaware of one very important detail. Kazuma wasn't poisoned. Yes, it would seem so. Let's give him the information he's missing now. So that's in the post-mortem report, which is here. Just to be sure, sometime blah blah blah, no obvious or traces of poison. So let's present.
Yes!
Post-mortem report. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by the post-mortem report.
Ah yes, I knew it was one or the other.
His neck was...
Indeed, the breaking of the cervical vertebrae is fatal. Only the Goliath would be strong enough to survive that.
Seaman Stroganoff isn't some immortal freak, you know.
The jury's out. Anyway, we have on good authority that the victim's neck was broken. Now, if we take that as a fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime.
Oh no, could there be?
Yes, an examination of the deceased body will prove the cause of death conclusively.
Kazuma died because his neck was broken. In other words, he was probably struck by something or someone. Yes, that's a distinct possibility. As of yet, no weapon has been found, though. Presumably, Darka didn't silently creep up behind Kazuma and deal him a fatal blow. I suppose. It's possible that he had a fall and hit the ground awkwardly. It could have been a terrible act of misfortune that he broke his neck completely by accident. Oh yes, a bad fall could explain it. It's rather hard to believe of Kazuma-sama, though. He wasn't a clumsy man. Well, we need to fix this deduction somehow. Is there anything from the scene that could explain what happened? Yeah, he slipped. Piece of small blah blah blah. Shoes were... Looks like a scuff mark made by Kazuma's shoe. I mean, there's nothing else that really fits the bill, so I'm just gonna present this.
Yes!
Mark on floor. Yes, an examination of the mark on the floor will prove the cause of death conclusively.
This particular mark should prominently visible next to the victim's body is a deposit of shoe polish.
Shoe polish?
Indeed, positively identified by a little analysis device I constructed, which I carry now as a matter of course. beeswax, tallow, and dye were my results. The undeniable ingredients of shoe polish.
And the color of the polish is a perfect match to the color of Mr. Asogi's laced leather shoe. Looking at this mark, it's not hard to imagine what happened. For some reason, Mr. Asogi must have caught his foot at the point on the floor and tripped. Please, no.
And by a dreadful return of misfortune, caught his neck against some immovable object as he fell to the floor. Suffering a fatal blow to the spine, the victim's vertebrae shattered, and in that instant, he lost his life.
No! I don't know anything about this. Is that really true, Miss Pavlova? What about the evidence left at the scene where Mr. Asogi lost his life?
Yes, the facts are as clear as the day to me. You did all you could to conceal the incriminating evidence. But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case.
I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama merely tripped over and now he's no more? It cannot be true, I refuse to accept it. I know it's hard to believe, but the mark on the floor does seem to suggest that that's what happened. But... And if this part of Mr. Scorn's deduction is right, Miss Pavlova is trying to hide some evidence that will prove it. Here in this cabin, somewhere in the direction that she cast her eyes. Where, I wonder? Let's have a good look around. The answer must be somewhere. So this is the traveling case. Is it the tiara? Might be also... She might have also put it there, but let's just check out the traveling case first. This is where Miss Pavlova hid her friend. That's right, and it wasn't a snake after all. No, it was a little kitten she calls Darka. Not that it's anywhere to be seen now. It seems to have let itself out of the case and gone exploring. I expect it's wrapped itself around someone's head somewhere trying to make a new friend. Either that or it's scratching their hand to pieces. The point is, where has it got to? Let's check out the tiara. Somebody appears to have dropped 20,000 rubles here. It hasn't been dropped, Naruto-san, it's been placed. I'm starting to sound like Mr. Sholmes. Stop trying to sound like the great detective. Oh, small little things. I really like it. So, what's with the waste paper basket? This is a waste paper basket. Perhaps all the first-class cabins have them. But Miss Pavlova only started occupying this cabin late last night. Presumably there's not much rubbish in there yet. Aha! Oh, what's that? It's a broken piece of glass, isn't it? Yes, it is. And I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. If it looks familiar, perhaps it's more than your mind simply playing tricks on you. Can we zoom in? No, we can't. So we're gonna present that. That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that waste paper basket.
Oh! Here we have a fragment of some intricate glass object, it would seem. One that has a familiar air, in fact.
Precisely. We found another piece of broken glass on the floor in Miss Asogi's cabin. Mr. Asogi's cabin. And as you can see, the two pieces fit together perfectly. Oh no!
So, Miss Pavlova, shall we consider what this tells us? Why would it be that part of this glass object which was evidently broken at the scene of the victim's death should be found in the waste paper basket in your cabin?
Yeah!
You're well acquainted with glass bell, aren't you?
I don't...
I don't know that hushed Russian accent of yours. Won't save you this time, dear girl. Why? Because we have conclusive evidence linking you to the bell in question.
What?
Take it away, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes. The evidence linking Miss Pavlova and the little glass bell, that would be... it must be the photo. Let's check it out, because there's a bell right here on the little kitten. So, we're just gonna present that.
Yes!
If you look at this photograph, you can clearly see, hanging from the darkest color, the very glass bell in question.
The truth has caught up with you, Miss Pavlova. The young man who lost his life last night did so after truly an auspicious fall.
And the cause of that fateful stumble, your absent felon friend, Darka. Feline friend. I couldn't tell anyone. I'm sorry. This is still a very bad way to die. Elementary! Alright guys, but since we've completed the deduction, the dance of deduction, the part ends here. Thank you so much for joining me, and tune in when the next part of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles is going to go on air pretty soon, and you better tune in then now. See you then.